Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So if you haven't noticed, changed my hair again. I took my root down farther just because I wanted some more warmth around my face, and I lightened up my ends just a little bit. And I actually am super excited because I just ordered hair extensions and I cannot wait to put them in and play with them because I miss my long hair so much. So I'm so excited to get those. But for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my go-to drugstore foundation routine. So I have found so many amazing products from the drugstore that I have been loving, from anywhere from foundations to primers. All of it is amazing, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys because I am constantly reaching for all of these. So as always, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, just go ahead and click that button down below so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. And also don't forget to hit the little bell so that you get notified every time I upload. So if you want to see my drugstore foundation routine, let's just go ahead and get started. My hair has a mind of its own at all times. I don't understand it sometimes. But I'm sorry if the lighting's coming off a little yellow. I'm not quite sure why it is doing that. You know, I'm filming a little bit later today because I didn't get home until later, and then there's a bunch of people here, so it's just hard to film. It is actually 8:38 right now, but I am here and I'm ready to film some videos for you guys. Alright, so the first thing when always doing your foundation is you want to prime. You always want to give your foundation the best base you could possibly give it to make it last all day and look good on your skin. So I have both high-end and drugstore primers that I like, but one of my all-time favorite drugstore primers is the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot. And I love this stuff so much because I have an oily T-zone and I have very large pores in my T-zone. So this just kind of helps mask that, control my oil, and just help my foundation sit so smoothly on my face and just help keep that oil at bay and help it last all day long. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put just a little bit on my fingers. And like I said, I only apply this in my T-zone because that's only really area that I need it. And then I usually with foundations use my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water, but I have yet to find anything that compares to that from the drugstore. But since this is just a full drugstore product video, I'm going to leave that out today. Alright, once that is all on my skin, I'm going to be taking a favorite of mine right now from the drugstore. I actually have two favorite foundations from the drugstore, but the one that I find myself grabbing for the most is the L.A Girl Pro Matte High Definition Long Wearing Matte Foundation. And I feel like this makes my skin just look so airbrushed. And I believe it. It's a high definition, completely matte foundation. It lasts so long on my skin. And I think this compares to a lot of high-end foundations because it truly does meet the standards of that. It just helps everything last so long and look so good on my skin, and it's just one of my favorites. So this foundation is like a shade lighter than what I actually am. I just self-tanned a few days ago and it is kind of starting to wear off at this point. So I had went out and bought the Catrice Prime and Fine Transforming Drops, the darkening ones, and I absolutely love these things. I just tried it out the other day and I was so scared because it truly is that color when it comes out of the packaging, and I was so scared that it was going to make my foundation so dark. But just a little bit in your foundation just truly helps it. So I'm going to squirt just the tiniest bit in there just to give my foundation that little bit of darker tone so that it matches me a little bit better. Because if you guys are anything like me, you have your certain foundations that you absolutely love, but you don't always want to go out and buy 3 different shades of it when you're not self-tan, when you're self-tan, when you're in between. So I really highly recommend these drops to help match your skin tone. And I'm going to take my Loreal sponge as always, and I'm just going to start tapping this into my skin. You just really want to blend it in, and I personally love using damp sponges because one, I feel like it picks up some of the product so that you don't get cake faced, because with my oily skin it is really easy for that to happen. So I feel like this just absorbs some of that product but not too much to where you're using a lot and it's taking it away when you're putting it on. I just feel like it really helps smooth the makeup out and just make it look extremely airbrushed. I always try to test things out with brushes as well, but I feel like I always just go back to a sponge because I love the way it just makes my makeup look. And of course, this is from the drugstore, so it's perfect for this video. Alright, for concealer, I am using one of my favorites, and it is the Maybelline Fit Me. You guys see me use this so much on my channel, and this has to be one of my all-time favorite concealers from the drugstore. I feel like nothing compares to it, and their other one is great, the Maybelline Better Skin, but I always find myself reaching for this one, and I'm always pairing this with my Tarte Shape Tape as well because I think it is a great concealer and it lasts on my skin for so long without making my under eyes just look dry and kind of old and caked up. So I absolutely recommend this concealer from the drugstore. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I am in the shade 15 Fair because I like to keep my concealers pretty light, and I feel like their shade range runs just a little bit on the darker side, but I'm going to apply this as normal. Alright, and then I'm going to take my Loreal sponge again and just blend this all into my skin. Alright, so I always like to set my under eyes with a pretty lighter shade and a banana shade. So there is this NYX highlighting and contour kit. This was one of my first ever contour kits that I bought when I first started doing makeup, and I still think it is a great one, especially from the drugstore. I feel like it gives you everything you absolutely need. You have your 4 contour shades. These are the 2 light shades that I use to set underneath my eyes, and it gives you 2 highlighting shades. So I think that this is a great one to use if you don't want to spend the money on the high-end ones. I think this is a great alternative. So I'm going to take these 2 shades right here, and I'm going to set underneath my eyes using those just because we don't want our eyes to get cakey. And I really like using these lighter shades because I feel like it just helps brighten my eyes and make me look more awake. So I always recommend just setting your concealer with a powder, just because if not, it can just get really cakey and make your eyes look droopy and just that concealer not look good underneath your eyes. Alright, so for powder, as usual, you guys see it all the time here on my channel, it is the Airspun Loose Face Powder. And I cannot believe how long this stuff truly lasts. It was around $5 or $6 at Walgreens, and you get 2.3 ounces in this. I got this in the summertime around, I want to say June or July, and it's lasted this long into the next year, and I still have so much left. I feel like this lasts a long time. You get your money's worth, and I think it compares to a high-end powder so much. I'm always reaching for this stuff more than I do any of my high-end powders. I always go for this. I feel like it makes my skin look so good. It helps set my foundation good. I just think everything about this powder is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to take a little bit, I put some in the lid. I just find that's an easy way to use it. And I'm just going to take my brush and start to apply this onto my face. I always set my foundations just because, like I said, I am oily and I want to get the most wear on my foundations that I can without them starting to separate and get caked up. So I always want to set with powder. So I went ahead and did my brows off camera really quick just because I felt like it wasn't really a part of the video, but I used my usual, the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Shape and Fill, which is amazing brow pencil from the drugstore. I highly recommend it. I love it. So for bronzer today, I'm going to be using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm going to take my Morphe M523 to bronze up my face with. I absolutely love this brush for bronzer. I think it's absolutely amazing. I've been using it for years, and Morphe is such a great brand and extremely affordable, so I feel like it goes great with this video. And I pretty much, that's all I use for brushes is Morphe brushes. I love them so much. And then for contour today, I'm going to go back in to that NYX palette. I'm going to take this shade right here to contour my cheeks with. I don't even know what brush this is. I got it so long ago in an Ipsy bag. It is a small contour brush, but I think it just has the perfect point to it for contouring. So I'm going to take that and carve out that contour right there. I found this brush in my collection not too long ago because I have so many brushes that I forget what I have half the time. And I found this and I was like, why did I ever stop using that? It just gives you the nice, perfect light contour. It doesn't make it too harsh, which is absolutely perfect. And then I'm just going to take my Morphe brush again that we just used to bronze with, and I'm just going to buff that all together. It's because I want to contour, but I don't want that harsh line. So for blush today, I'm going to be using one of my favorites, and it is the NYX blushes in Pink the Town, and this is one of my favorite shades that I am always using. I feel like it is just the most perfect warmish pink that I always reaching for. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush, and a little bit truly goes a long way with these because they are extremely pigmented. I'm just going to brush this across my cheeks. And then I'm just going to take my stippling brush and ever so lightly go across that blush to blend it in. And you want to do this lightly because if not, it will take off your makeup or blend it in a little too much. You want to have that little bit of definition between the blush and bronzer, but you don't want it to be harsh, which is why I lightly go across and just blend it into my skin so it looks smooth. And then for highlight today, I'm going to be using the X Heart Defenson, and this is in Coffee and Cream. And I absolutely love mixing, I hope the packaging isn't blinding you guys, but I absolutely love mixing both of these together for my highlight. I think they're not only great separate, but I absolutely love them together. I feel like it gives you the best highlight. So I mix them together and put it on as normal. But once it is on, I will go back in with this lighter shade right here, and I will bring it down my cheeks just a little bit more, just to give it that nice pop. Like so. And then I'm also going to take a little bit and I'm going to put it underneath my brow bone, and I mix them together as well for this. Alright guys, so that is it for my drugstore foundation routine. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know what some of your favorite drugstore foundations are down below, because I'm always looking for awesome drugstore foundations to try out on my very problematic skin. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!